China has reported 40 new coronavirus infections in the last 24 hours as it increases testing and lockdown measures. Most of those cases are in Beijing, where a fresh outbreak has been traced to the city's largest wholesale market. Our China correspondent Bill Birtles is in Beijing and joins us now. Bill, workers and visitors to this market are being tested.
Yeah, Gemma, the authorities here in Beijing say they want to test around 200,000 people who visited that Xinfadi wholesale market over the past couple of weeks. And certainly here there is the personnel and the testing kits to get that done. In fact, when it comes to Beijing, you sort of hear of it a bit more personally because, of course, this city has been generally spared over the past few months. It was Wuhan in the south, or central China, which, of course, copped it the worst here. But I know of people whose mothers, for example, have been rung up and told that they need to go do COVID testing because big data showed that they were at the market. I know multiple people, in fact, in this sort of situation, including some now who are under enforced quarantine in their compounds. So it's already affecting a lot of people, but I suppose to the relief of many in Beijing, they're focusing it on the districts, which are huge. They have millions of people, each of these districts, rather than putting broad measures across the whole of this massive city.
And experts say food is an unlikely source of transmission, but salmon imports have been halted.
Yeah, so early on, authorities here went into that wholesale market, swabbed all the people who were there, and of course they've called others who have since been tested because they were customers. But they also did environmental swabs. Dozens of those came back positive. And interestingly enough, authorities here were very keen in state media to highlight that I think it was a chopping board used to cut up imported salmon had tested positive. So the speculation was swirling, it was publicly being pushed, that imported salmon may be the reason that this outbreak has flared up. An official just today said there shouldn't organically be this virus in Beijing because measures have been so tight over the past few months to prevent the virus coming into this city. So this is why there is this speculation that it may have been present on frozen salmon or frozen fish or packaging. The WHO, though, however, has been asked about that, calls it a hypothesis and isn't committing to that hypothesis, just saying it could be one of many different causes.
And Bill, what measures have been put in place or reinstated really to contain this outbreak?
Well, there have been quite a few compounds. You've got to understand, compounds in China, they all tend to have about 10 buildings in them. Pretty much everyone lives in a gated community, and so it's quite easy for them to board up the various entrances of communities and only keep one open. And this has happened to I think about 11 compounds in that area closer to the wholesale market. Also, fresh food and vegetable markets, seafood markets have now been shut down. And even for areas a bit further away, like where we are in this part of Beijing, they've reinstated previous measures where only residents or employees with passes can go in and out. And also, too, you must have your temperature checked as you walk in. So I have to say, Gemma, it's fairly demoralising because Beijing had tighter restrictions than pretty much any other city in China aside from Wuhan. The closed management system on compounds continued right up until a few weeks ago. People were all getting sick of it. It all looked like it was moving in a very good direction, and now we have this flare-up with more than 100 confirmed cases over the past few days.
China correspondent Bill Birtles, thank you.